When health inspectors go through a restaurant kitchen, they're looking for hundreds of possible violations.
Some of them are pretty easy to commit, and you probably do them yourself when you cook. Tonight, News Channel 15's Alyssa Ivinson's 15 Finds Out report goes into a home kitchen.
Well, after reviewing the inspection reports for restaurants, we put a home kitchen to the test and sent in an inspector. From how you store your food in the refrigerator to how you prep it, cook it, serve it, there's a lot of potential to break the health code.
Cooking in a restaurant or cooking at home, following the health code ensures food safety.
Like things we're pointing out today, and some of the things you may have seen on the report noted as critical, it is important because that increases the chance for foodborne illness.
Health Inspector Steve Schum put Joe Carroll's cooking to the test. Stir fry was on this dinner menu.
One thing you'll notice during his preparation here is he is starting with the celery first, so it's a ready-to-eat food product. He is preparing that before he's going to his raw meat items, so it lessens the chance of cross-contamination.
You can see Joe's not using gloves, but if this celery was for a salad or veggie tray?
If this would have no further cooking step, yes. So anytime you have bare hand contact with ready-to-eat foods, then yes, in that case in a restaurant, that would be considered a violation.
Now for the meat. And a little mishap almost turned into a violation.
As soon as that knife hit the floor, we made sure that that wasn't reused. He may have set it back on, but it didn't come in contact with food.
Joe did a good job of washing and keeping his hands and equipment clean throughout the cooking phases. He even used paper towels.
In the commercial facility, no, you wouldn't use a common towel, especially after washing hands.
Time to cook.
One thing that we had asked in the establishment is we checked the minimum internal cooking temperature of this beef. We want to make sure that this beef gets hot enough to where it's cooked to a safe level. The beef would have to be cooked to at least 155. But once it's cooked, maybe it goes to a holding station. We would check then to make sure that the hot food's kept hot, that it's kept at 135 or above. As far as cold food goes, then we would check to make sure that that's kept at 41 or below.
Our camera did catch one critical violation. Joe used his bare hand to push a piece of meat back in the serving bowl. In a restaurant, the food would have to be thrown out. A common violation in a lot of food establishments, an employee's cup on a prep counter. Joe had a used coffee cup out too.
Yeah, so imagine if this cup here was sitting right next to here on the surface. There's a chance where he could bump this over and that drink that he consumed could go into this. It could go into the celery as well.
Another violation that shows up on a lot of restaurant reports, storing raw meat or eggs above ready-to-eat food in the refrigerator.
The way residential units are designed, a lot of times you'll see produce on the bottom. It's not as much of a threat because it is contained in these drawers. However, if there was some leaking of raw juices, and let's just say somehow it got in there onto there, and I've had that happen too, whenever you're thawing something out, then it becomes a concern because now your raw stuff and those juices are getting onto your ready-to-eat products.
Restaurants have to date mark dressings or salads they make themselves. Schum recommends at home, just don't keep homemade items more than a week. While we probably commit a lot of violations in our own kitchens, restaurants are held to higher standards because they prepare for the public. But if you cook for your family or friends, it's a good idea to keep the health code in mind at home, too.
Even if you receive the product, prepare the product, serve the product, even if you're just putting together sandwiches, there's still a chance for contamination.
Now you can see all of our 15 Finds Out investigation on the restaurant reviews and inspections right now on WANE.com. There's also a link to the entire food code, and you can search for the inspection reports for every food establishment in Allen County. Alyssa Ivinson, News Channel 15.